Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Was there
Do you
good
ever watch
audio?
the You Betcha guy? I don't really know what his name is. The Bush
Yeah, he's like a
Latte.
Minnesotan dude. Yeah, he's a Minnesotan dude.
I love that dude.
There's like those comedians that have just built a brand on YouTube of just like, here's 5 things that dads do on the beach. Like, I wonder when they're going to run out of prompts, but I do enjoy them. All right, I'm going to share this thing to my feed now that we are out here in live. There we are. I see us.
All right, I'll do the same. I'm disappointed. I've gone through like 10 things and haven't seen us yet.
You got to just go to Bookkeeping Beer and BS group.
I know. I just wanted to see if it was hit my news feed. Like, I'm your number one fan, Dan. I'm disappointed. The Facebook gods aren't with us.
Facebook, right, yeah, the algorithm sucks.
Don't say that. You're going to get banned.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I am totally going to get banned again. Maybe this time they would actually ban me, though, instead of just putting me in purgatory, and then I'd have to reinvent myself. I have to become a new human. What's up, Michael Gregory? What's up, business nerds? Happy Wednesday night, 4th of July, 5th of July. It's good to be here. I was going to say,
thank you for having me, man. That's my second time ever on here.
Why is it only your second time ever on here? I mean, you come on the Turf's Up show quite a bit, so you're not like a stranger to the podcast. You're a frequent guest to the podcast, but the late night happy hour, I think we've only had you on once. Now, twice.
I remember I was real nervous about it because you just had Kedma on the show, and I like prepared. I like shaved, got a haircut, didn't have a hat on, and then I realized we're just hanging out and just BSing for 2 hours. So it's cool, whatever.
Drinking some beer, you're having a bourbon. I'm drinking a beer, doing my thing.
I had to ask if it was okay to have bourbon. I only have cut water. That's what they're called. I only have cut water, and I don't really want to drink that. So got a glass of bourbon, and I'll enjoy it as you drink a latte.
This is I went with the Coors Light tonight because I'm at my folks' place and the beer fridge is right there. Usually, if you've ever seen me here, folks, typically there's a bear rug right here. And now that bear rug is right down there because my kids are here. Oh no, I shouldn't have lifted that up. Now I'm gonna have to. My kids are here, and they're my kids. And so the bear rug's off the wall is what happened. The other thing I think is cool is the first time I've ever worn a backwards hat on Bookkeeping Beer and BS. But I have massive hat hair because I've been wearing it all day because we were out in the boat cruising around. And then you jumped on with your backwards hat on. And I was like, I need to wear my hat just so I have a hat on so nobody has to look at my ugly hair. But I was worried because with the bill in the front, I got a weird shadow. But now I don't have to worry about that.
Nobody can tell. I don't think your audience is going to be like, did you see that shadow on Dan's head tonight?
Yeah.
Terrible show. Terrible show.
What a clown. Yeah. All right, let's we got some cool stuff to get into. I got No, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I wasn't not going to do this. But I think we got to pay homage. My grandma passed away on Monday. She was almost 91. And I was pretty close to her. Like, grew up going to, we'd always joke, we'd go to Chicken on Wednesdays. That was like a thing. They would drive like 35 minutes across town, her and my grandpa, for Chicken on Wednesdays. And they'd both order pork chops. I don't know. It was like a chicken buffet thing. And I'd always go with and eat the hell out of the buffet. And they'd both get one pork chop. Because if you order just pork chops, you get 2 of them. But Jesus Christ, as my grandpa would say, you could only ever eat one of them. But Grandma Pat passed away. My grandpa passed away like 10 years ago, I'll say. My Grandma Pat just passed away a couple days ago. And is my dad's mom. And I won't say she had a gambling problem. She has a gambling problem like I have a light beer problem.
Okay.
She's really good at it.
It was a social thing.
Yeah. She's really good at it. But so like every time I'd hang out with them growing up, it's like, let's just put in $20 and get some RIP tickets. Do you guys have RIP tickets in California? Is this the thing?
I've never heard of it. Is it like a scratch off?
No, it's a RIP ticket. it's like there's 3 or 4, usually like 3, 4, or 5 flaps that you rip back. And it's like you might as well be playing a slot machine. You know, like on a slot machine, you got the different shapes and you got to line them up and whatever. But you like rip it back and they're either lined up or they're not. And you either win or you don't. And usually they're $1 or $2 per ticket. And so we went out to eat at the bar on the lake here. And we had the whole family out. And I was like, we just got to throw $30 in here for grandma. And there's 6 of us. And we'll see what happens, right? So we put in 30 and we win like 12. And then we get those 12 tickets going, get another group, and we get, I think somebody hit a 25. So then we got like 30 more. And then with that, I think, we got like 31. So we got tickets with those. And then we got 15 out of that. And I put the 15 back in. Like we just kept regurgitating them. And then we pulled the 250.
Oh, you won. I was waiting for it just, and then we lost it all. That's great.
We pulled a 250. Grandma Pat, here's to you. She was watching
Grandma
over
Pat.
us.
Fantastic. I had a Grandma Pat as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Was your Grandma Pat a gambling grandma? She was my gambling
She
grandma.
was married to a gambling grandpa.
There you go. There you
close.
go.
Yeah.
Runs in the fam. No, it was cool. It was actually I just like she lived to be 90. And she was like still going to the bar, still doing her thing right up until like her last day. Just that was it. I was like, man, I want that. Yes. Somebody give me that. Mm-hmm. I want to live to be 90 and just boop, checked out, good to go. So anyway,
that was it. And I hope she won on the last night. That'd have been even more epic.
Yeah, or maybe she saved it for me. I don't know, but no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a good way to go. It's a good way to go. Anyway. That's what's on my mind. That's what I had going on. But let's talk about some service Rolodex. I see you added service Rolodex.
I did, just for this call.
It's right on there. It's right on there. And I had to double check the spelling of it again, even though I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Rolo. For some reason, like part of me does that thing where I'm like, or is it an E? Rolodex.
Rolodex, ROLA would be common as well.
Could be.
I hope I spelled it right because I got the trademark on it. It'd be really embarrassing if I.
Yeah, if you had it wrong.
Trademarked.
You did spell it right because I even went in to the Google and double checked it.
Okay.
And it is right.
There's something called engrams that Google looked at every word ever written from everything, and I looked at Rolodex because a lot of people have said nobody under 40 is going to know what a Rolodex is, and in fact, it was increasing in search volume until about 5 years ago. It's only gone down, so I think we're good with Rolodex. So
people running businesses. People running businesses right now still know what a Rolodex is.
I would agree with that. And they also know what Grandma Pat had in her house, a Rolodex. So we're good.
Oh, she sure did. I bet she probably had one that she used, and she was kind of a hoarder. So I bet she has 2 more of them. Oh,
a backup. Yeah, in case you lose your one, you got to write 2 cards.
Yeah. No, she always had all kinds of extra stuff. All kinds of extra. In fact, those familiar with the show would know that I usually have like a yellow cooler next to me. That I always said, like, I won this yellow cooler from somewhere. I had no idea where I got it from. Turned out my grandma was busy accusing other people of stealing her yellow cooler, not realizing she had given it. She sent it home with me one time with some here. I have no idea what was in when she sent it with me, but I'm gonna say she always made like bread, like pudding bread. Pistachio. It's probably pistachio or lemon bread. I'm sure there was some barbecue beef in there. She always had some of that around. And then probably some expired Twinkies. Probably some sort of Hostess treat that was expired for sure. Maybe a couple of expired beers in there.
Can you tell a difference? Do Twinkies expire? I don't.
Not according to Zombieland. Wasn't that one of the things in the movie Zombieland where they're just like always out? He was just always out looking for Twinkies because they lasted forever.
It's also amazing. I've seen that movie.
It's a good movie. It's very entertaining. I liked it. Yeah. So let's talk about Service Rolodex because you got something cool going here. I forgot I was going to go in and share this to some groups where it would be extremely relevant, which is every group because this is super relevant. I don't know. I was trying to think. I don't know that we've ever had I won't call this a launch, But this is pretty much like the first time.
I don't think we've ever really had a conversation about it, honestly. Like I've said, hey, I'm starting a networking group for home service businesses, and you're like, great, and then that's it. So I don't think we've even talked
this
about
is the conversation / announcement / launch. Michael Turman says, "My man, plot of plots, fist bump." And then there's 2 other things there. They're just like shapes when they come through here. So I'm guessing they were beer mugs. I'm just going to go out on a limb. I can't see them. I'm just going to say, I'm guessing they were beer mugs. So Michael, let's go. I want to get into what Service Rolodex is, where it's going, who should join, what it's all about. But let's go back to like the origin of it. What was the trigger? What was the process? Because every idea has like that tipping point or that trigger point where you're like, oh wait, I think like I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I got it. What was that thing that happened that just sent you down this path?
That's a really good question. Now, I don't think there's necessarily one event. So my background is in franchising. I worked for Neighborly for Window Genie for several years. They were acquired by Neighborly in 2016. So I had 2.5, 3 years with Neighborly. And they have, for franchises, their own network of franchisors that all work together to do lead share and networking. One thing I noticed that in the franchise world is, one, the power of referrals, highest average ticket, highest closing percentage, best lead you can get. But 2 is, with all the tools and all the resources Neighborly had, they struggled to get groups to get traction and really get off the ground. And it's because nobody really took a leadership position. Nobody said, I want a group to happen and put the ownership on me. I'm going to make sure it happens.
When they tried to do a group, when Neighborly tried to do a group, was it a group of like different franchise style business owners, or was it like all Window Genie people, or
good question. Yeah, no, it was all so in a specific market. Like I think Huntsville, Alabama, or Birmingham, one of the 2. I don't know about today. This is 4 years ago. Had a really strong group. So there were 9 different brands. So like an HVAC, a plumber, electrician, window cleaning company, all met monthly or weekly, collaborated, got ideas, had somebody kind of put those ideas together so they could all do leave behinds, shared text blasts, and just shared marketing resources to help each other. Because I mean, if you put 5 people, in the home service businesses, I got a really good property manager. I'd like 5 of them. So if I get 5 more people with a property manager, now we can all just share our resources together and really kind of grow. So that was, I think, the catalyst for it is just looking at opportunity. The second one was we broke the 200 clients with Click Call Sell. And we started to get a lot of questions from clients like, hey, do you have anybody else in my area? Or we noticed there's 4 people in Jacksonville or 6 people in Portland that are all different industries, but in the same area. And they should know each other. They're totally awesome entrepreneurs. They should be working together. And so we just started saying,
you're the link between them, and they don't. Maybe a couple of them know each other, but chances are they don't.
You guys are both awesome. You should know each other. And they're like, this is a great relationship. So then we started to think, how can my first brand manager, who was amazing, started to think about what tools and resources could we give a group of people that would allow them to excel their own business as well as network and refer each other. And so it started out pretty small beginnings. And then like most entrepreneurs, it turned into this ridiculous idea that just ballooned into a 9-month project and over $100,000 of investment. But today I'm nervous to announce that we're ready to do some basic membership launches.
Hell yeah. And you've kind of beta tested it a little bit already, right? In the San Diego market?
Yeah, we've been running in San Diego since February, and we found a lot of challenges that I didn't really anticipate. Just some simple ones. I mean, if you're in a home service business and you're listening, do you have access to your logo, all the different file types of your logo, and can you share that with somebody?
Every time anybody requested that of me, it might as well have been the IRS asking for old tax documents. Yes. I was like, I know it's somewhere. And I know one of our guys that no longer works for us had the file. Yep. And that's all I know.
Exactly. And so just getting that information that we need to do this it was really difficult. So we had to come up with an onboarding process that on the front end collected a lot of the information, because we found that people that want to join and want to do something are going to invest the most amount of time on the front end. So we just kind of shifted and moved around the way our onboarding process works. And we've gone for 5 months in a row in San Diego. We've had some incredible wins with the group. They're actually starting to get traction, and the relationship is better. They're recruiting new members. Another one is difficult is people think it's a pyramid or MLM or something like that, and it's not. So it's just, how do you get people to, one, understand quickly what Service Rolodex is, and two, have the desire to want to get in and use the resources that are available.
I was gonna say, why would they think it's MLM? Because they're not selling anything, right? Isn't that?
Hey, you want to join a referral group with me and other home service businesses? Like, no, everybody's busy, so it's just a challenge.
It feels to me, when I wrote the title for this episode, I was trying to define what it is, and I was like, it's a mastermind. But not quite. Like, it's a networking group, but it's more than that. Well, it's an affiliate group. Well, that's like a part of it, like maybe if that's a thing that you're doing with the people in your group, but it's really a smash up of those three things, right? It's like you could join BNI in your local market, and you're going to have a realtor in there who's like, their referrals might be useful to you as a home service company, and then you're going to have a chiropractor and a doctor and a dude that does signs and a guy that sells stupid insurance stuff. I shouldn't say stupid insurance stuff. Corey's going to hear this and he's going to come.
Kind of important.
Yeah. Not his insurance stuff, just like Legal Shield or whatever. That's the guy that,
not Corey's, anything but Corey's.
Yeah. I love Corey. I love Corey so much. I went over to his house last Friday when he was gone, and I did some work on his house for him. He did send me the garage code so I could go get a Coors Light. So I think we're even. He's a good guy. But to me, Service Rolodex is like a mashup. It's like a BNI on steroids. It's not a whole bunch of people that for an hour and a half that just ask for your referrals nonstop and do like a 90-second commercial at a meeting, right? There's a mastermind component to it. There's a best of the best component to it. There's a referral component to it for sure, where you can share resources. But I'm probably doing a bad job of defining this. Since it's your thing, why don't you help me define it? Am I on the right track with where I'm going?
It's actually perfect that you're defining it without really knowing what it is, because it lets me see what people think about it on the front end. So it's basically BNI, but only for home service businesses, isolated to a specific market or service area for non-competing home service businesses. So like in San Diego, one of the first challenges we realized is there's like a North County, South County, and East County. People aren't servicing the same area. The first meeting, we had 6 or 7 people, and we realized, we need 2 groups. There's like an East County group and a North County group, and they're not doing that, especially in Southern California traffic. So it's split into 2 groups in one city, which ended up being great because then we got a bigger sample size and seeing like who was going to be involved. So I think that's the easiest way to explain it. But there's 2 really huge value propositions that are part of Service Rolodex. First is marketing materials and marketing resources. Is how do you, as a subscription service, how can you keep somebody engaged or want to keep that relationship with Service Rolodex? Because 3, 4, 5 months in, you've got a networking group, you got your people you're working with. Why do I need to pay $300, $400, $500 a month anymore for a service? We're already cool. We're close. We're meeting. We're gelled. So I wanted to think a couple steps ahead and what services could we provide our members that would want to keep them coming back? And so first is assets for them. It's really difficult for small businesses to come up and create their own content. So we have written 156 social media posts for 15 different industries, 30 emails for 15 different industries, and 20 to 30 text message templates for these industries that all members will have access to either post on their own, just grab email content and post it on their own behalf, or we have, using Go High Level, fully automated services where you can automate an entire year's text messages, emails, and social media posts directly from the Service Rolodex platform. So you're able to say, I'm ready to automate my nurture sequences or how you're getting repeat business automatically by using Service Rolodex.
How do you get selected, right? So I jumped on and joined, and there's a little bit of like fill this thing out about your business. But if there's 3 pressure washing companies that are like trying to jump in, is it first come, first served? And once there's a pressure washing company in there, sorry, bro. Or is there a selection process? Like, how do you vet?
Yeah, vetting is really important. I'm part of EO, Entrepreneur Organization. And I really wanted to kind of structure it based after that. And so in order to become a paid member of Service Rolodex and be part of a Service Rolodex group, you have to be either Google guaranteed, which means you've already passed a background check and submitted your proof of insurance.
Oh, that's nice to borrow that. I like that
I
idea.
know, it's awesome, right?
Hell yeah.
Show us you're Google guaranteed and you're good, because if you're good with them, you're good with us.
Yeah.
Or you have to submit that information to us, or we're just going to get you Google guaranteed through my agency. One of those 2 things. So that's the first step. And the second is to make sure you're a good culture fit. You're going to get along with the other members, and also the size of your business is going to matter as well. I mean, you're a $5 million HVAC and plumbing company, you're not going to want to work with a $100,000 maid service. And so there's got to be some size and scalability, or even the potential of scalability. So I would imagine there's going to be groups with a 7-figure company that's working with a much smaller business, but they believe in that person. They see their talent and know that they're going to be able to fulfill the demand that this 7-figure company is going to create for them.
Yeah. So is there a threshold to get in? Like your business has to be a certain size to be eligible to get in?
There is. It's written on the website. I think we said 2 years in business, 20 reviews, proof of insurance, and passive background check were what you had to have to qualify to become part of a group. But anybody can join as a basic member. That's what we can launch tonight. Is you can go to servicerolodex.com, sign up as a basic member, and get all the tools and resources immediately so that you can start building your own referral group. So we've got all the offers and the onboarding that you would have, whether you're a fully automated member or just a regular member. You can get all access to everything we have directly tonight just by going to the website, filling out a form, and start your own group tonight.
Servicerolodex.com, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reading your screen, so I know how to spell Rolodex just to make sure I type it right.
R-O-L-O.
R-O-L-O, like the caramel-filled, little nugget candy thing that comes in a wrapper.
Rolos?
Rolo.
Okay.
Yeah. Dex. Rolo Dex. That's how I remembered it, because I was like, everybody loves Rolos. I do. If I'm going to eat a Rolo, though, I like it chilled. So the caramel's a little hard, but then the caramel gets really stuck in your teeth, and then you need to eat another Rolo to try to get the caramel out. It's very cohesive. Like you need the caramel.
Makes sense. And if you eat enough of them, eventually it just comes clean. You got to stop right then, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. What all? I know it's home service focused. What are all the different industries that are eligible to be part of Service Rolodex? Is there a cutoff at some point where you're like, oh, if you're a water softener installer, nah, not for you? Or like if you're a chiropractor, you're kind of a service company, but not for you.
Oh yeah, no, chiropractors.
Homes, like where's the cutoff for you?
Yeah, so it's people who are like the traditional home services, and there will be some crossover between industries. Like there's a lot of landscaping handymen that do Christmas lights, a lot of exterior cleaning that do Christmas lights, and so that's not a primary service. We really wanted to focus on the primary services. So if you are a plumber and you're doing, drain cleaning, nobody else is going to be in there doing your primary services in your Rolodex group. They can start their own group in a different part of town, but you're going to be the only plumber in your group.
Are there going to be multiple groups? You said like in San Diego, because they won't, like there's 2 different groups because there's a north and a south. Let's just say it's a smaller town that doesn't have that issue, but you could still have exclusive. I mean, like I'm just going to BNI, right? Like there's 10 BNI groups in town. And they just have exclusivity that like, if you are in this BNI group, it'll
be that. Like, yes.
Right.
We've thought about like exclusivity for one market, but I don't think it's really fair to the brand to limit it because it's a networking group. There can be an unlimited amount of networking groups that are all just kind of working together. And if as a member of Service Rolodex, you are with people that you are like-minded with, and if they want to do switching, and it's free. It's just like the free market in a networking group. I don't think that it's Service Rolodex's job to decide who is a member, and once you're a member, you're always a member. In fact, I wrote into the website, the bylaws, if you would, that 2/3 can vote in and 2/3 can vote out. So if you want to join and there's 3 members, 2/3 have to say, yes, we want this person in. And at any point in time, 2/3 can vote that person out because there's going to be some members that just aren't cutting it. So I like the voting in and voting out aspect that we put into it as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. We have in our CEO roundtable group that I'm in, it's to get in, it has to be 100% unanimous. Everybody votes you in.
Oh, I love that.
If there's one person that votes you out, you're out. And like when a new person comes in, we interview them for 30 minutes and we ask them questions. They ask us questions. If somebody's on the fence, we have like a discussion about it. If somebody's like, they rub me the wrong way this way, or, so on and so forth. But I've never actually seen it where like one person was like, nope. And everybody else was like, hell yeah. There's always like that guy was just a little arrogant, or she just didn't seem like she had exactly a lot or not enough. Yep. Like it was pretty consistent where you just kind of knew right away. I had a few comments here. By the way, guys, if you're listening, we got a bunch of people on here. throw some comments in, ask some questions. Let us know if you're excited about it. And go to servicerolodex.com. Michael Robert / Michael Turman. I just know him because I know him. Even though that's not his name on the screen, I just know what his name says. Very listening. I think that's a funny way to say it. Super duper uber listening. I've not
I bet
heard
it's
of
interesting.
it. He hasn't heard of it because this is the first time we're talking about it, Mike. That's why you haven't heard of it. We're talking about it right now.
Less than 10 people in the world know about it. I've just been working on it behind the scenes for way too long. And
Mike,
we got the automation. The automation was crazy.
You were the 11th person to know about it.
Yeah. So we had to build the automation out. If you go to the website and you fill out the form, there are 157 different markets that we identified as like the top 157 markets in the country. And we had to build automation out for 3 membership levels for 157 markets for 15 industries. So it's 3 times 15 times 157. It took 3 people like 6 weeks to build out all the membership levels and everything else. So if you do want to be a paid member, the automation does work. The website's just not really built out for the paid memberships yet. So we won't have the shared. I can talk about that too. It's really cool. We've got Canva teams. If anybody knows Canva, we've designed probably, 150, 200 different postcard templates that you can go onto Canva and just make notes on for, what you want your offer to be, what image you want. And our design team will come in and they'll customize your postcard and give you a print ready design that you can take to your post office or give to your print distributor. And all these templates are already ready to go. So once you join as a paid member, you'll get access to your own Canva account with dozens of postcard templates that you can modify and edit on your own.
One thing that I think is cool about this too, I coach in a couple landscape lighting groups, and one of the big tactics there is to try to find other contractors to partner with, especially landscapers, especially home builders, right? And they will cross market together. They will go in on postcards together, and one guy's on this side of the postcard, one guy's on that side of the postcard. And so to be a part, that's like, then you're having to do the vetting, you're having to do the relationship building. And actually the one downside to that I hear over and over and over again is like people just complaining that it's really hard to find good people that want to partner. Because if it's just you don't have the time to chase them around, right? I think that's the beauty of Service Rolodex is there's benefit for them in here. And so you're not going to have to go try to chase around somebody that has a good ancillary service to what you have. Like you're going to get them and you don't have to go chase them around, and they're going to be there for you to build a relationship with. You don't have to go try to like wine and dine them. They're already there, committed, trying to be a partner with you at the same time. So you're finding like-minded people that have a surplus mentality.
Exactly. And there'll be a community manager, somebody that's there to make sure that the meetings happen, all the resources are available. You know what the group's about to make sure that it continues to move forward.
Yeah, like you said, that was one of the challenges with Neighborly, right? Is that a lot of the groups just wouldn't stick together because they didn't really have a group leader to take the charge.
Ownership. You got to take ownership.
I noticed that about CEO Roundtable. We had a guy that he was actually the CEO of CEO Roundtable, and he would facilitate a lot of the groups. And then they started bringing in other facilitators as well. And then they gave you the option to have it professionally facilitated or like self-facilitated, where one of your group members would facilitate it.
Yeah.
And that worked as long as that facilitator was like a true facilitator and was consistent and was there every time and blah, 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 blah. But it was like left to their own devices. And I know a lot of buddies that have started like networking groups off to the side, and they're going to like hold each other accountable. It doesn't stick. Like you need to have the same way, like Conquer, you have the Conquer logo right behind you, right? The same reason why you need a Conquer coach is there has to be like a dedicated, you're the leader, you're the facilitator to keep holding people accountable. And it's amazing that then they keep showing up, but just left to their own devices, sometimes it falls off the bandwagon.
Absolutely. We have, if you read through the homepage of the website, you can scroll down if you want. I think it's on there. So we called it the Pioneer. Hopefully we don't get sued for trademark or anything like that to change it. But the Pioneer is the person that, and if you start to fill out the form,
I just like totally led into that.
Do you want to
I
be
didn't
the
realize
pioneer?
I was totally like leading into your website.
No, I see it. Yeah. Do you want to be the person that starts the group? Do you want to take initiative and interview the first 2 or 3 people? Do you want to be doing outreach and recruit members? And then we have a free month for every person that you recruit to service Rolodex for your Member Plus membership. So free automation services for all of your text messages, emails, social media, postcards for a month once you continue to recruit members as a pioneer.
I dig it. Is that pioneer also then the facilitator automatically, like by default?
They can be, yes. We have 3 roles. So we have the pioneer, the chief, and the CFO. And so any one member can be multiple titles, but the pioneer is a person that wants to get the group started. The chief is a person that wants to take charge. So they could be 2 different people, right? I want to get a networking group started. I'm willing to invest the time to do it, but I don't want to be tracking people down and sending emails out to make sure you're showing up and where it's going to be. And so there'll be somebody inevitably that is just super type A and says, I got this. I'll make sure that we meet now that we're all here. And then the CFO is one of the values, the core values we put together was acts of service. And as a small business, you don't have the funds typically to give back to your local community in a way that can have a lot of impact unless you're doing, close to 8 figures. But if you put together 5, 6, 7 people in a community and you all give $1,000, now you can, as a group, have a lot bigger, meaningful impact. So the acts of service is what can we do together to have a bigger impact in our community? And it's multiplied by however many members you have.
It'd be cool. I always thought about trying to do like a volunteer event with our employees in Minneapolis, but it's always just daunting to try to like make a big enough impact with a team of, now we have double-digit people, but for a long time we had like 5, 6 guys, right? It's like, where can we go and what can we do to really like move the needle? But man, if you can like collaborate with a bunch of other companies and go do a volunteer event or raise money for something, like
100%.
Hell yeah, you can get a lot done.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Now I just kind of want to keep scrolling, so I'm gonna keep scrolling. What else we got here? Hey, there's a sign up button. You can sign up.
So there's really 3 membership levels. Basic is access to all the things to do it yourself. Just start your own group. All the resources you need to get a free group started. Second is member. Member is access to all of the resources. So all your postcards, all your text messages, all the social posts, everything you need to do it yourself. And then Member Plus is a fully automated. So everything is done. You decide the dates that you want to send your emails and your text messages out. Those are put into Go High Level, and your 12-month automated plan is done for you from the very beginning.
Beauty. Is it if you're gonna sign up for any of the roles, what are you signing up for? Like, is it a year-long subscription? Is it a month-to-month thing? Is it you can bounce between them as you see fit?
So right now, because we haven't really got the Member Plus done, right now it's always going to be month to month. I want people to stay. It's just like my agency. I want people to stay with us because of the results that we produce. I don't want people to feel like they're locked into a long-term commitment. So it'll be month to month. For Member Plus, we're probably, and I'd like some feedback if anybody wants this, we're probably going to end up doing 1 or 2 months as a deposit that you'll get your 11th and 12th month free, because setting up the automation is daunting. I mean, we have to customize all the emails and all the social posts and customize a tremendous amount of content for your brand.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of front end work. And we want to make sure that we don't spend 50 hours doing your automation and 45 days later you leave. So there probably will be a setup fee for the Member Plus that will be given back as free months on the back end.
I like it. It's like getting your deposit back when you rent a place. Get the deposit back. So if you're going to sign up, when you're going to sign up, and that's like, okay, you have access to all these things. What's the process to meet the other members? Like go to the meeting, where are the meetings at? How do those get? I mean, I know there's a pioneer and a coordinator type of thing, but like walk us through that process. What does that process look like for a member of how they access? I mean, obviously the website to access stuff and whatever else, but then like, how does it all come together?
That's a good question. So yeah, for basic, it's all on your own. You have the resources. You got to go get other people to sign up, and then you'll have your own environment to kind of do it yourself. For Member and Member Plus, as soon as you sign up, you get a folder, and that folder is going to have like a launch meeting agenda. So the community manager, it's like an account manager with an agency, is going to be in touch with everybody to see what dates and times can we have our first meeting. We've had, of the 5 meetings we've had, I think 3 have been virtual and 2 have been on site. So I like the on-site meetings because you can go to somebody else's shop and look and see like, how's your office organized? How do you have your shelves? And how's your business kind of structured? And then virtual is great because it saves a ton of time traveling, especially in Southern California. But you'll get a questionnaire about when you can meet. We've already set our meetings up. I think it's the second Wednesday of each month during the evening. The 3 times we've met, we had, food delivered to us. Uber Eats is amazing. And we meet for 2 hours. There's a structured agenda as part of the Member Plus. The agenda is already mapped out for that 2 hours to do some collaboration, some idea share, some requests. Another benefit is for your group, we have postcard templates designed for 2 through 10 members. So we can have leave behind templates and shared text messages or email campaigns that you can send out on behalf of your group. So we had the plumber and an extra cleaning company last month send emails out basically saying, hey, I just used this plumber and the service was amazing. As a home service business owner, we really care about these 3 things and they nailed it. If you want to use a plumbing service, we highly recommend them. So we got that template that we gave to them. They sent out on their to their customer list and vice versa. So that's a big part of the meeting is what can we do together and how can the Service Rolodex team deliver those, execute on the deliverables. And the community manager's job is to make sure that we're getting what you need, going to the team, producing it, and giving it back to the pioneer or the chief, whoever wants responsibility for that.
Yeah, so like Service Rolodex is a business, gonna have employees. Well, kind of has employees already in a way, right?
6. It has 6 employees. It doesn't even exist. It has 6 employees. That's why I'm not really afraid to talk about it because anybody can build this. But I mean, I've spent $100,000 in 9 months of my time doing this.
Yeah, dude, it's an undertaking. It's an undertaking. So in a group, do the group members have access to somebody at Service Rolodex, or is just the chief has access to somebody at Service Rolodex to say, hey, like our group needs help with this thing, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's why we did the chief. There can only be one chief, right? So somebody has to be the person asking questions. So every single person will have their own Canva folder, and they'll have a designer attached to that Canva folder. So anybody at any point in time can say, I want this postcard. Here's my logo. Here's the offer. Here's the photo. Design this postcard for me. That's anybody has access to that. But as far as the collaboration effects, that is given to one person in the group, and that person communicates with the community manager. That allows the community manager to manage more people and scale it more effectively.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And not everybody wants to do that, right? And we certainly don't want 8 people with 8 different ideas from one group telling what they want to be done. That's not going to work.
Yep. I like I'm curious, and this might like evolve as you get going. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can like see your pretty face. I'm curious to see how it goes with in-person meetings versus virtual meetings, because it is such a give and take. It's easy to like lean towards the convenience of virtual, but the farther you get, and like we're also used to doing stuff virtually, right? Like we're filming this show, going live virtually, and making a podcast and doing all the things. But it seems like in a mastermind, there's so much value in getting together in person to see each other, drink a beer, because that's what I would do. That sort of thing. How long are the meetings? It sounds like every month. How long are the meetings? Is there an agenda or like a cadence to the meeting so that the people can like stay on track with what they want to get through? How does that all fit?
Yeah, so I'm not going to look down at my screen when we do this. Yeah, the meetings are, well, I think you can do whatever you want. It's your group. But right now we have them set for 2 hours at a predefined date and time. I also like in-person meetings for the exact same reason you said is, bring a beer. Like just you're there, we're talking to like-minded people. So we want people that think alike and have the same goals for their business. So the meeting is pretty much structured like a level 10 meeting, except it's 2 hours. So we're starting with something positive. We're kind of giving recaps of what happened last month, what the objectives were, what were the deliverables, do we have them, have we executed on them? Then we have an ideation session, brainstorming on new ideas. So we try to come up with new concepts, new things that we can do together. We had a lunch and learn. So do you have any people in your B2B contact list that maybe we could send an email to, or you could get us introduced to, just to have expand our B2B network of home service businesses? And then we have it's kind of like this little internal coaching session. Does anybody can have the floor? There's about a 30-minute time block that you can ask any questions to the group. How are you overcoming this objection? Or I have this employee, so 30 minutes, and it's self-directed. So there's no particular, the community managers are not business coaches, so it's self-directed. And then we close it out with setting next month's objectives. What do we want to get Service Rolodex to create during the next month? Eating all during this time, like getting food delivered. And then after that, we set the new objectives, have a closing, and then everybody goes home.
I dig it. This is just an idea or an observation, and we haven't done a good job of it at CEO Roundtable, but I thought it was pretty cool when we did do it, which is part of our dues. I think CEO Roundtable is just like EO that you mentioned. It's super cost effective, though. I think I told you this. It's like $3,500 a year, which for like a group like that is nothing. I mean, usually it's 10. What's EO? 10,000, 12,000?
10. It's market to market. I think it's 10,000, 14 to start because you have to pay for like your onboarding. And it's 10 grand a year, which is crazy affordable for masterminds.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's expensive. I'm saying I can't believe how cheap CEO Roundtable is for the value. It's like same thing. It's CEOs from 2 million to 100 million type of companies. One thing that this was like pre-COVID, it was very strict that some of your dues would get set aside into a budget, and then you did an offsite for like an evening, like pretty much an all day thing. You get up there wherever. I say up there because that was the one that I did. But you go somewhere offsite, spend a full day of like digging in and doing more like the personal stuff. Like we did personal timelines.
100%. Yep.
Like a cool exercise was we rated every year of our life up until then. On a plus 10 to a negative 10. Right. And so like the tears are rolling, right. And like everything gets unpacked. And I think that's cool about those mastermind groups is because as business owners, like we can't talk about that stuff with our employees all the time, but it sure as hell like has some serious impact on how we run our business. So it's like half business, half personal. And like the business stuff we can't always talk about with our families because they don't always get it. And the personal stuff we can't talk about with our employees. So we're just in this weird spot as business owners where the best resources we have are each other. And especially
that's why you have these groups.
Exactly. I mean, like my best buddy in Minneapolis, Ben, runs a sewer and drain cleaning business. And literally it's like, it's a very intentional friendship. It's like, dude, like, I don't know who else I can just like, hey man, I'm driving to your place. Like, I just got to like talk this out with somebody else that gets it. It's so important to have that to like bounce that sort of stuff off of people that are in your same shoes. I don't know where I was going with that besides that the retreat thing is a cool idea. And maybe that's something people could implement in their service Rolodex.
Well, I initially had, and I had to delete it today. My brand manager today was like asking me questions about the website. I had in there originally, I think it was called I forgot what the position was, but Service Rolodex was going to facilitate like an escrow fund that people could put in to do give back acts of service or an event or something like that. And that's a really dumb idea because then we'd be held liable for everybody's money in escrow funds. So if you want to do this, certainly do it on your own, but we can't have anything to do with holding your cash. That was a terrible idea. I have a lot of bad ideas. So hopefully some of them hit, but yeah.
Seemed like a good idea at that. Couple things here. Michael Roberts says, does it integrate into a CRM?
No, not even close. Not yet. We have.
Would there be value in integrating with
technically,
CRM?
Yes. So Go High Level connects with House Call Pro very easily. There are some other CRMs it connects with, but as far as like the members, absolutely not. In fact, I have to have our attorney write up a pretty strict contract because we're going to have access to people's database. And I have to make sure that we're protected legally because we're not going to be holding this information. And also it's a lot of trust saying, hey, company, here's my customer list, send emails and postcards and text messages, but don't do anything with it. So we had to cover ourselves from a liability standpoint and really a trust standpoint because people are going to be trusting us with quite a bit of information. But if you think about it from like our perspective or any CRM, like what is the benefit of using somebody's database? Like I'm going to get sued. I'm going to go out of business because I took your customer list. Not worth it.
It's cool to share. It's detrimental to abuse.
Yes.
Like I think not exactly the same, but I always say like, yeah, I'm a bookkeeping business, right? And so I have access to all your shit. If one of my employees or me screwed you over or stole any of your stuff, anybody listening, watching would absolutely bury us, right? Like the minute, right? Like it would be so detrimental. Like the minute anybody did anything shystery, everybody would know and you would just be buried, right? Like,
and lawsuits. You go out of business, you go bankrupt. The other person,
like the responsibility you have. I'm just like, no, don't worry. Like, I don't want I know you're concerned about your data security. Trust me, I am more concerned about your data security. The amount you lose is way less than what I'm going to lose if something bad happens.
But you have to have a larger business to have that mentality. But that was a couple of things I heard from smaller businesses. Like, I can't give you my customer list. I have 500 customers. I worked really hard for those. I'm like, okay.
I get it. Right. It's like, it's your baby. Josh Latimer checking in, says Michael Gregory's a stud. What up, boys? Actually said, what's up, boys? I missed an S. What's up, Joshua? Good to hear from you, man. So Michael, let's walk people down the path here. I called you Michael. Usually I call you Mike, but
call me whatever you want. They're both work. They're interchangeable.
I feel like, yeah. Now I'm wondering, do I call you Michael or Mike more? I feel like I call you Michael to your face, and I probably call you Mike when I'm not talking to you. What's your preference?
I always say that friends call me Michael, but you can call me whatever you want. But I honestly don't care.
Stick. Let's finish this show.
No, throughout my life, it's been different. Like when all my high school, college friends that I'm so close to call me Mike 100% of the time. I don't really know where Michael came. I think it was my wife. My wife exclusively calls me Michael. So I think it just that circle, just Michael's been it. And it's like my wife talks to me more than anybody else. So
naturally, my wife talks to me less than anybody else. She just ignores me. She's like, oh man, it's that loudmouth guy again.
Yeah, here he goes again.
So servicerolodex.com. Somebody goes on. What do they do? How do they get signed up? Why should they sign up? Give us the little elevator pitch.
Yeah, well, first read about it. Don't just blindly sign up for anything without knowing.
No, just sign up. Just go click the sign up button, get signed up.
Give me all of your information, your credit card number. Just do that immediately.
Just do that.
So yeah, to recap, there's really two primary benefits of Service Rolodex. First is you get marketing assets for your business. So text messages, postcards, social media posts, email templates for your brand, for your industry that you can use whenever you want, wherever you want, any platform you want. We also have a fully automated system built out using Go High Level that connects to CRMs, different CRM platforms that you can specifically time when you want these to go out automatically throughout the calendar year. And then from the referral networking standpoint, think about a BNI for home service businesses exclusively. So non-competing home service businesses in your market. And with that, we have put together a lot of collaboration and collaborative marketing efforts. So there'll be a community manager that's on the Service Rolodex side that is the facilitator to make sure the meetings happen. They have an agenda. They will be communicating. The members will be communicating with the community manager, requesting email templates or text messages that they can do co-op and shared marketing with. And then each individual group will have what we call the pioneer and the chief. The pioneer's responsibility is to get a group started and to vet members of the group. And the chief is a person that is the leader of the group. So the pioneer can be the chief, or you can have separate people. But I found that somebody has a desire to get a networking group started. They want to just get it going. And then you're going to have some crazy type A that's like, what does Matt, my operations guy, call himself? A control enthusiast that really wants to take control of the group, and that'll be fine. So
yeah, I totally do. That was me in college, right? Like you'd have a group project, and you're just like, all right, guys, here's where we're meeting, here's what we're doing, and I already did all this stuff. Here's the structure.
Yeah,
fall in line.
You're the chief. Yeah. And then
I want to make sure we get a damn A- on this thing. An A would be great, but I don't want to put in more work to get a 4.0. I want to put in the exact right amount of effort to get a 4.0.
Exactly.
So we got to get this thing dialed in.
So one chief communicates to the community manager to have the deliverables or execute on the deliverables that the group needs. So you're continuing getting leave behind postcards, a shared EDDM template, shared direct mail templates, shared email templates, text message templates, so that you guys can cross promote each other. And then access to each other's B2B contacts, property management groups, referral partnerships, etc., to really highlight and emphasize the relationships that you've established along with everybody else's. Because if people trust you, they're going to trust the people that you trust.
Got another check in here. Andy Mashura says, excited about our new website, Michael. He called you Michael, not Mike. So he must be cool.
He's a friend.
Says, sup, Dan? Sup, Andy? One thing you told me previously that got me pretty excited is that it's going to be like open book financials. Because part of it
I did tell you that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the grand vision of it. So this is actually pretty cool, the grand vision of Service Rolodex. So there's really 3 phases. The first phase is this, just brand awareness. I need somebody's help. If anybody's listening knows how to like do this, I'm part of something called the AI Exchange. It's this massive Slack channel with I think like 700 or 800 members now. And they've got all these channels, but really there's 3 different groups. There's industry specific, sales specific, and city specific. So you may want to work with a bunch of like plumbers all across the country, or a bunch of people between $700,000 and $1 million in sales because you're all dealing with the same challenges, or people in a specific city. So really step 1 is to build awareness and just get memberships and build a list. That's step 1. Step 2, once we've got members there, is to do something like Conquer's done with the village, and just to bring preferred vendors in, because it's really hard to find trustworthy vendors like Blue Skies that you can work with and trust as a vendor, a service provider. And the third phase is to have an open book policy. From my experience, and I bet you can share a lot of this as well, financial acumen or understanding how to read a P&L or your books is one of the biggest weaknesses I see in home services. So what I want to do is open up the books and have an open book policy for service Rolodex members, so that they can see gross profit, net profit, GS&A expenses, how we manage the business. And then because I already own a successful agency, I want to reinvest 100% of the profits into developing an app that homeowners can start to use with Service Rolodex. So that makes it $1 billion idea. And so if people
that'd be
listening,
so cool for a homeowner, like, I mean, for the homeowner to be able to go on and get like actual reputable sources instead of
people they trust. Yes.
Instead of going to Home Advisor and Home Advisor.
Yeah, I'll tell you the grand idea, Dan, because I think this is pretty amazing. So I've asked 100 people this. So if anybody listening, just see what you think about this. Would you pay $5 to give an unsolicited bid to a homeowner? So if you're landscaping, would you pay $5 to be able to go to their home, measure every service that you do, price every single service that you do, and then give that to the customer? Unsolicited, but would you be willing to do that so you can put them in your follow-up, nurture sequences, etc.? And I've heard every single person say, absolutely, I would pay $5 to give an unsolicited bid. So what I want to do is have a promotion for Service Rolodex members to promote other people. And if you have 10 members, for example, and say, hey, here's a $50 Amazon gift card. If you let us bid your property, we will give you this $50 Amazon gift card. And so what we're going to be doing is collecting a tremendous amount of information. How many rooms are in a house, what kind of flooring, carpet, appliances, square feet of your roof in your backyard, everything, so that everything can be priced and measured for everybody's house. And then you build an app to where people can have all that stuff inputted and measured in their own house. And then when they want to bid, they have to just go to the Service Rolodex app, and the pricing and measuring, everything is already done. So Service Rolodex members will have exclusive rights to be able to bid that job immediately because of the app. So that's what we're going to be doing, is reinvesting 100% of the profits into building an app. I have no idea how to build an app, but I'm going to hire a CTO that's going to be super expensive, part of the scaling a massive business training that we're going to be giving with Service Rolodex.
That's badass. A couple more check-ins. Hey, Joshua Latimer says this entire concept is absolute fire. Oh my God, face. I'm gonna call it
a visionary. Joshua, message me.
The OMG face. Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of time and energy I've put into this is 5x anything I've ever done in my entire life. It's consumed me for 9 months.
It's super fun. But like your excitement around it is contagious, man. Super. Super
I've seen it. Like I've just been this close to it for so long.
Yeah. Rob Anderson checking in says, "Hey fellas, sounds like a BHAG." That's what he says.
It is a BHAG, a billionaire.
And then he said, "I'd bet on Michael." I think that's a good bet. And then he wasn't on earlier. He says, "Backwards hat, bros." Yeah.
And bourbon.
Speaking of which, somebody drank my beer.
I would get another one, but I won't be able to speak clearly.
After one more Coors Light, I'd probably be speaking the exact same way that I am right now, because it's a damn Coors Light.
You know, I've never seen you speak. I'm sorry, anybody speak on stage with a Mick Ultra to a bunch of blue collar entrepreneurs, except for you. You're the only human I've ever met that just be rocking a Mick Ultra on stage.
Grab that Mick Ultra, whatever it is, whatever shitty light beer you got, I'll take it. I got another one. Here we go. Latimer says joint venture marketing is one of the most powerful but underutilized strategies ever.
Yes.
I think so.
I want to capitalize on that. And so anybody that wants to join and be a pioneer and really help take this thing to the next level, I'm willing to offer the automation services, whatever I can do to have 3, 4, 5 people that really want to make this work in their market. We've already built out everything. So we just need people who are willing to take some initiative, because it's not a well-oiled machine right now, not at all. And we're going to need to work out some kinks, figure out how to onboard faster. Onboarding is the secret to success in all these kind of businesses. So anybody that's willing to spend a few hours of time, I will give you a tremendous amount of hours and time spent on automation, Facebook posts, postcards, etc.
Yeah, no, here's the thing that I did. I went ahead and like signed up already, just me.
Oh, I bet we've already had a few people sign up.
Yeah, now I didn't do it today. I did it a week or two ago. The last time we were talking about it, I was like, I'm signing up. And then I was like, well, I don't really have a home service business, but Andy does, and I'm a partner with him. I'm his nerdy CFO. So Andy, I may have already signed us up. This is an FYI if you're still watching. You may have already won. And I volunteered to be a pioneer. I think I volunteered to be a pioneer. Which would be fun. That'd be enjoyable. So San Diego's up and running. Are there any other markets that you're getting going?
Just that one for right now. JC Chanowski, well, formerly JC, Jared Chanowski.
The human formerly known as JC. Look at, I just got bamboozled by cute children with, what's on your face? Is that s'mores? Did you guys make s'mores without me?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Marty said, it's been an hour. Go get Dan.
Sparklers? I do want to do sparklers. Go get me a sparkler.
No.
I want a red one, a white one, and a blue one.
You can't do them inside.
No, I'll come outside.
Okay.
Get the sparklers ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Sparklers on deck.
Look at
The good stuff.
I love it.
You know, whisker do's, whisker don'ts. Girls, hey, get off the rug. Get off the bear rug. Go upstairs.
Is it rug?
It's like I'm doing a Zoom call right now. This is exactly what it's like whenever I do a Zoom call. Girls, get upstairs.
No, wait, no.
And that's exactly how I would respond. Right there. This is how little plows behave.
I'm just trying to find our service Rolodex sign-up sheets, but I can't find it. Who cares? But that's it, Dan. It sounds like your family wants to hang out with you, man.
I know, what a bunch of weirdos.
We're weirdos.
Hey, wait, Danny, can you go on that fridge and grab me a Coors Light from the bottom shelf? She's good at that. She's got her dialed in. Bottom shelf. All the way at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, it didn't shut all the way. But stop stepping on the bear rug. Seriously, Grandpa's gonna feed you to the bear rug. Don't shake it. You can't shake a beer. No, she's shaking my beer. She's like jumping on a ball, shaking it up. I'll give that one a minute.
Like, it won't make it taste any worse, I promise.
Yeah. Well, I don't want it to splash all over and zap everything here. What did we miss? Did we cover it all?
I think we did.
Have we laid the entire groundwork?
We're ready to do a soft launch. Oh, we're talking about Jared, JC. He wants to do it. I've got a couple of clients that are really.
Are you talking about Jared or JC? Which one are you talking about now?
I'm not sure. Jared's growing on me. It really is. It was hard at first.
I don't know. I call him JC. I've been introducing him to some people for a thing on Facebook, and I'm always like JC, and I hope that you'll figure it out that Jared is JC. All right, I'm putting servicerolodex.com posted in YouTube. Let me I'm gonna throw it on the Facebook chat as well.
I guess the last thing I'll say is I think that I'm not sure how many times you've had Brandon Vaughn on your show, but like he's probably one of the top.
I haven't. I tried to get him on one time, and I haven't. He and I couldn't
he's
connect.
Probably like one of the
biggest
inspirations for me as like an entrepreneur, and just watching him grow. I've met him at Automate, Grow, Sell Experience. Speaking of Josh Latimer in 2018, and have just been following him since. But listening to him speak and direct a table 5 years ago to listen to him speak and direct now, I've never seen anybody grow more in a 5-year period of time. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because he's not necessarily taught me directly, but been teaching lately about hiring people smarter and better than you. And so I've been on the hunt and actively trying to hire a CEO for Service Rolodex, just because I've seen my time being more limited working on this, like the integrator things, that I need somebody who can run it. And hiring a president or CEO of Service Rolodex, somebody who has a tremendous amount of experience in this space, I think is going to be a game changer. So we're going to have a 6-figure employee. The moment we get one paid subscriber, 6-figure employee is going to get hired. So
Booyah.
I'm ready to get that going.
That's so exciting. That's when you know you're doing big things, is when you're like taking that big of a leap. I love it. I love
Take
it.
big chances. Yeah, Brandon does it. I mean, I'm like 30% as talented as he is. I got this.
which that's plenty. That's plenty talented.
Yeah,
that's a lot of talent.
I'm good. It's good.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Well, Michael, you sure as hell know that Blue Skies and Bookkeeping Beer and BS, we got your back. So
Appreciate you, man.
let us know however the hell we can help you get this thing off the ground and doing sweet stuff. And I already got dibs on MSP and St. Paul too, I guess. Maybe
All of it.
Minneapolis might be like a 2-market city.
Oh, it's
although
definitely
we
two
do
markets,
all kind of serve the whole thing.
We've got, as far as like extra cleaning, we got 1, 2, 3 people in the area. One's pretty far, like northeast, but definitely the north side, south side. Actually, where you 4 people, I think, because you just do ads.
We're spread out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to watch it take off and help it take off. And
Where's Danny?
I don't know. I'm right here. I'm Daddy, and I'm Danny. These kids.
Well, go. Your kids need you. My kid needs me.
I gotta go sparkle. I gotta go sparkle like the Dickens. I'm gonna be like Joe Dirt out there.
All right, I'll be on the show next week. I'll see you next Wednesday.
All right, business nerds. See you guys later. You know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. Go check out servicerolodex.com. Sign up. Don't listen to what Michael said where he's like, read it and check it all out. No, just go sign up. Go do it. We'll see you there. We'll see you at the next Service Rolodex meeting in Minneapolis. Until then, peace out.